Hey, if you're thinking about coming to Australia, I wouldn't recommend it. It's 20, 30 years ago, actually at the time of when we had the Olympics in 2000 in Sydney, yeah, most probably. Now it's run by a far left government, a socialist government run by Anthony Albanese, who keeps reminding us that he was brought up in a social housing with his single mum, who's on a path of trying to take all the money from the middle class. We're going down the same path as the UK, we're going down the same path as Canada and a lot of the Western countries, but Australia is cooked, absolutely cooked. You can't get ahead. My wife and I are on a decent income, and it's not like we blow our nose with $100 notes. I don't know why anyone would want to come to Australia unless your only agenda is to get on welfare. We're a very giving country. We even borrow money from like China, BlackRock, Vanguard. We borrow this money so we can give it away. We don't actually make anything in Australia anymore. All we do is pick up dirt, pick up resources and send it overseas and buy it back at exuberant prices. I can understand if you're from India and we use the rivers as a toilet. I can understand if you're from a third world country. Go for it, come to Australia, you'll love it. But if you're from Switzerland or you're from America, or I wouldn't even say England anymore because England's cooked, and you know, if you're from a European country, no way in the world would I ever want to come to Australia. Take us back when I was born in 71. The population was very, you'd say, white. There was just mainly white Australians, Aboriginal Australians, and refugees from after the war like Greece, Italy, places like that. And it was very you know, and I think that was brought on from the countries where we got immigrants from, were Christian countries, so we held similar values. And it was not long before the second generation were Aussies. Didn't matter if you're from Poland, didn't matter if you're from Germany, like my mum's side is from the German side, my dad's side is from the English side. Next generation were Aussies. Now, next generation, they're still Indians, they're still Sudanese, they're still Brazilians, which you get a lot of Brazilians here, still Nepalese. And so we've just got silos everywhere, and we're not coming as one. So that's why I wouldn't recommend coming to Australia. It's not the country that was. It's very hard to get in front here. There is an agenda from these far left governments. You see it in the UK, their soul destruction. Their main goal is the soul destruction of the UK. It's the same in Canada. It's the same in Australia. I think New Zealand's seen, that's when Ardern was in. She was once again from WEF, is that right? No, yeah, the World Economic Forum, yes, those idiots. Their goal was to just have power. I look now and I look at pattern recognition, which I'm going to do another video about, and I look now and I go, who's in charge? These guys who are in charge, like Keir Starmer, Anthony Albanese, Trudeau, that fucking whacker. I do not like swearing, but he is a cock. He is evil. His mum was evil, and he is evil. And the new Prime Minister over there, they want power because they were nerds at school. They were the ones in the debating team. They weren't Christians. They were out of their way to be getting their revenge because they were scared of bullies. And that's why they want this power, because they're psychopaths. They want this power more than anything. That's why Albanese, Keir Starmer, I can't remember that one from what his name is, from Canada, and Ardern calls herself a leader. Who? She's not a leader. She's been sent on her way from New Zealand. She wants to come to Australia, wants to ruin Australia. Those far left idiots who keep calling us the far right, where you'd rather be in a far right country anywhere because they actually feel much safer. Here, you're worried about getting You're worried about having a watch showing that's a Rolex. iPhones getting stolen everywhere. Over in England, you can't worry about it. For some reason, these idiots who are in charge, I'm going on a bit of a rant here, these idiots who are in charge from the Labor government or any progressive, even the Democrats, they stick up for their bullies. And that's why whoever they're scared of, they'll stick up to them. Not stick up to them, they will stick up for them, sorry. So when anything happens in the future, they can say, I was here helping you. Because they're not worried about the Vietnamese, they're not worried about the Koreans or Japanese, or people who are passive, who aren't there to hurt anyone. The Japanese come over here and they want to make a living. They're scared of people who are worried that they might get attacked by. And that's why they are so worried about the Muslims. They will do anything to go, no, I'm on your team, so you don't have to terrorize me. And that's what's ruining these great countries. Australia was a great country, it was a lucky country, but it isn't anymore. And once again, I think we're about 4 years behind America. America changed. I've been to America quite a few times, and I saw the difference under Biden. I haven't been there since Trump's been there, but he has changed it. And once again, they hate him. The far left hate him because they see him as a bully. And that's why they'll do anything in their power to bring him down. And if the left get in control, then we're just going to be just like we're going to see, as in how could I say this nicely? They're authoritarians, and that's how they think their thought is the default thought. I don't know why I found it so hard to say. So they think by taxing everyone and taking away your free speech, which is happening in Australia. Both sides of Parliament in Australia, the left and the so-called right, which is the Liberal government, they're just one party. They are just out for themselves. So who would vote? If you're a Liberal, why would you vote after the massacre in Bondi, to take speech away from the normal person who had no involvement? So all they wanted to do was say, you say anything about the Jews, you're anti-Semitic. If you say anything about Islam, you're Islamophobia. And most people had no say in it. Most Australians aren't Jewish, most Australians aren't Muslim, but everyone got their rights taken away. And then they went harder on the guns, because what happens if you take the guns away, then when you're the government, you're the only ones in the guns. Just like Venezuela, just like China, where they can actually look over you and say, you're not a good person, we'll take your money away, we'll go into your bank account, we'll freeze your outcome. That's what they want to do here. They want to freeze. That's their long-term goal of actually taking cash away, going to electronic banking. So we don't like your thought, we don't like what you said, we're going to freeze your accounts, what they did in Canada with the trucking protest. Anyone who was for that, they went into and froze their account. And then it's the same as it was like China. If they don't like what you're doing in China, they take your passport away, they take your money and take your freedom. And that's what the far left is doing here. Alright, like I say every week. And it's a weird one because I've just had a rant. If you can't be anything, be kind. But you can only be kind for so long. But you can't keep allowing our freedoms to be taken away from the far left. The far left do not have God in their heart. They just have hatred. And it's more like a cult to them. And I feel like if they went back to Christianity or any religion which promotes peace, they wouldn't be like this. Yeah, up until next week. Well, what's your thoughts? Do you find that you're liking your country now compared to years ago? So when I was in Poland, when I was in Malaysia, when I was in Denmark, when I was in China even, so when I was in Japan, when I was in, what was that other country I was in not long ago? Hong Kong. just seem so much more peaceful. They seem like you are one, and they don't want that in England, they don't want that in Australia, they don't want that in Canada, and that's what they were pushing under the Biden administration in America, sorry. They want you to be divided, and then they'll come in to help. So they cause the problems, and then they want to fix the problems by taking away your rights. We don't have many rights in Australia anymore. We can't even get a right to friggin' to say anything what we want against the Jewish government. What the hell has that got to do with any of Australia? It doesn't matter, any government, if you don't like it. It's not weird, we're allowed to say anything about the American government because the far left hate Trumpy. But if we say anything about the Jews, we're in trouble. If we say anything about Islamophobia, we're in trouble. I mean, Islam, we're in trouble. But we can say anything about the Christians. Yes, if you like my videos, or if you think I'm going down the wrong path, leave a comment. Alright, until next week.